Welcome to the Natural Health Podcast, where we bring awareness of sustainable health in the business hustle space. The Natural Health Podcast is perfect for the high-performing, business-minded individuals who want to work with their biochemistry to achieve optimal health. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for What Would I Do? In today's episode of Natural Health Podcast, we discuss this week's question. All questions are kept confidential and I read them and answer them as if it was me. That's right. That's exactly why it's called What Would I Do? The information provided is not to be taken as advice and is solely for information purposes only. I am not here to provide, cure, treat, or provide medical advice. I'm here to educate and inform you so you are able to take steps towards optimal health. Please discuss any medical or lifestyle changes to yourself with your healthcare professional. Let's get into today's question. So, as you may know, I've actually done an episode on the female libido. And when I did that episode, I had a gentleman write in and say, hey, are you able to discuss the male libido and what you can do if it's reduced? So the actual question was, could you please make a video on men's low libido? It would be great to hear your perspective on this issue. Absolutely amazing question. And I know the audience listening is both male and female, so it's great that I'm able to look at both perspectives, even though I myself am not a male. So the what would I do doesn't really fit in this episode, but I will try and give as much information as possible. But like I said, please discuss this with your healthcare professional. Okay, so let's get into it, right? The key thing that I wanted to point out at the start of this is that it is important to understand with the men's libido, is it your capacity or your desire that is low? Okay. So because endothelial dysfunction and erectile dysfunction reduces the capacity for sex, not the desire. There's a difference, right? The desire or libido is governed by the gonadal hormones and brain neurotransmitters that is known to gradually decline in men after the age of 40. So that is the libido. So your question was specifically in regards to the libido. So today's question is not going to be about erectile dysfunction, which I can talk about in another episode or another podcast. Today's question is specifically looking at men's low libido or men's libido overall. What would happen if your partner or even you yourself have a low libido as a male? Okay. So what we need to understand is that the reduction of libido is associated with low testosterone in men. Okay, drivers of these changes include, so drivers that lower your testosterone include, but are not limited to, there may be other ones too, inflammation, obesity, hyperinsulinemia, chronic stress, and oxidative stress, right? So while testosterone actually plays a major role in the main libido, other hormones and neurotransmitters are also involved in sexual desire, such as your libido, your male libido, including the central dopamine, which controls your sexual desire, and prolactin, which is antagonistic to dopamine and shows to increase in aging males. Okay, so as we can see here, as your prolactin goes up, your testosterone goes down. As your testosterone goes down, your libido goes down. Okay. So hyperprolactinemia is associated with low sexual desire in men and may elevate secondary to testosterone deficiency in men. So if you have low testosterone, your prolactin may be going high, right? Another thing that we also have to consider is the thyroid. The thyroid is key for men also, such as females also that we spoke about. So hypothyroidism, which is the slowing of your thyroid, appears to dampen libido in both sexes and needs to be looked at, right? Also, what needs to be looked at is medication. I'm talking about legal, illegal medication, any type of medication that you be putting into your mouth, right? So drugs such as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which are mainly given to individuals who are depressed, known as SSRIs, are associated with sexual dysfunction function. With some reporting, more than 80% of users are affected in regards to their libido. That is huge. So if you are on SSRIs or antidepressants, your libido may be skyrocketing downwards, not upwards, skyrocketing downwards because of this medication. Okay, but let's have a look at some major risk factors that may be associated and can be included in regards to male low libido, right? The number one thing, same as female, can be looked at is psychological influences. So your emotions, right? Anger, fear, guilt, and so forth, with whatever may be associated in regards to your libido, in regards to your sexual desire and sexual function, right? Interpersonal issues such as interpersonal issues that you may be having and going on in your current lifestyle. The other one, which is a given, is alcohol and drug abuse. As I've spoken, also medication, certain medication, neurological or biological causes, such as maybe an injury, maybe a factor due to dysfunction sexually. Medical comorbidities such as diabetes, pelvic cancer, genital infection, endocrine and hormone disorders such as depression, anxiety, issues of self-esteem can also be an issue. This is also for females. Age, right? So the older that we are, essentially, they're saying here that, our libido goes down. This is not the end and all for a lot of individuals, because you may talk to someone who's 80 and their libido is through the roof, right? But why is that? This is what we need to look at. Sexual trauma has a huge impact on libido. Fatigue, absolutely huge, because if you're tired, you're not going to have sexual desire, you're not going to have libido, right? Environmental stresses, such as, bright light, sounds and things like that around yourself, hormonal imbalances, obesity and so forth. So these are some of the things, just to wrap it up. I only got 10 minutes here. What sexual libido, low libido for males may look like and why it may be happening, right? So questions I would ask myself if I was a male with low libido is, I would ask myself, am I obese? Number one, right? Do I have any inflammation inside of my body? Do I have insulin issues? Do I go up and then crash? Do I have depression and anxiety? Are there any neurological issues, any injuries, right? Am I using drugs and alcohol? Am I abusing this? Do I have any sexual trauma? Am I overly stressed or even stressed out a little bit? What is causing this stress? Do I have oxidative stress in my body? What is my testosterone level like, right? What is my prolactin level like? What are my hormones looking like? Am I producing enough of them? Too little of them? Why is this? What is my sleep like? What is my relationship with my own body? What is my relationship with the individuals that I may be having sexual intercourse with? What is my connection with them? What is my thyroid function like? Am I on any medications? These are just some of the questions. There's so many more that I would ask myself before doing anything, right? But then what would I do if I was a male with low libido? What would I do? Great question. Absolutely great question. The first thing that I would do is I would identify if there is any trauma associated to my low libido. If that means I need to do any type of counseling to resolve the issue, any type of breath work, any type of meditation, any type of healing that needs to occur for me to remove this trauma or deal with the trauma, right? Then I would look at, am I obese, right? If I'm obese, I need to lose weight, right? Because the insulin issues may be stopping me from getting my libido up. I would review my medication. What medication am I currently on? That includes supplements. What medication and supplements am I currently on? Is this impacting my libido, right? I would review my current hormone status using a blood, urine, or so forth test, including saliva tests, right? So I would test my testosterone, both free and total testosterone, right? I would test my thyroid function, my blood glucose level. I would test my adrenal hormones. These are the things that I would test, but I would make sure that I work with a healthcare provider that understands optimal levels of these tests, right? Next thing I would do is I would stop drinking and smoking if I was doing this, right? Even occasionally at a party, I would reduce this or stop and see if it has any type of impact. Excess, what we need to understand is I spoke about losing weight earlier because excess fat increases estrogen, reducing my testosterone, right? So what I would do is weight-bearing exercises. Exercises are absolutely key to increase your testosterone naturally. I would look at supplements such as zinc and B complex. So in one study, zinc was found and B vitamins to increase sperm quality by 74%. Zinc also boosts testosterone in athletes and those who are deficient, right? So there are some supplements that, of course, talk to your healthcare professional, including selenium, vitamin C, essential fatty acids, CoQ10, okay? Some herbs that may assist, of course, talk to your healthcare professional to understand if this is the right thing to take for you and how much, include ginseng, dymania, tribulus, St. John's wort, and so forth, which may be assisting with that, including also ginkgo. I would ensure that I'm eating protein, fat, and carbohydrates in all my meals and it's a balanced diet, because constantly dieting or overeating may disrupt your testosterone levels, my testosterone levels in that case if I was a male, right? I would make sure I lower my stress and cortisol level, because unnatural elevation in cortisol can quickly reduce testosterone, right? Vitamin D, test my vitamin D. What's my vitamin D level like? Do I need to increase my vitamin D level? A 12-month study found that supplementing with around 3,000 IU vitamin D per day increased testosterone levels by 25%. Huge, right? So see the sun healthy, right? Sleep. I'm always talking about sleep, right? One study found that sleeping only 5 hours per night was linked to a 15% reduction in testosterone level. One study calculated that even for every additional hour of sleep you get, testosterone levels were rising by 15% or higher on average. Sleep is going to increase your testosterone level. It's going to increase your libido, right? Get to sleep, get on sleep on time, and wake up on time. Wake up refreshed. That quality sleep is key, right? The ones that I'm going to talk about now may not be specific for increasing your libido, but this is something that's going to help out, right, as a male, right? Number one, avoid sitting. Squashing that area is not beneficial, right? Tight clothing, get rid of them. Tight clothing is not good for your manhood, right? You may look good to some extent, but your area down there is not made to be squashed, right? Because squashing it also creates heat, which I'm going to go into, right? Another thing is get your phone out of your pocket. Do not have your phone in your pocket. And if it is in your pocket, it needs to be on airplane mode, right? Not activated, turned off, okay? So sperm production at its best when testicles are several degrees cooler than your body temperature, right? That is why they hang outside in the scrotum, okay? So the ideal sperm production occurs at around 34 degrees Celsius, which is bit lower than our normal body temperature, is supposed to be 37 degrees, right? So what does that mean? That means that they need to be cooler than our body temperature, right? Heating and warming the testicles has actually been used as a form of birth control in several cultures. So what does that mean? You need to ensure that your testicles are cool, right? There are so many things out there that men are doing. There's so many things out there that's out there. There's even underwear that you can wear that are cool your testicles. Some individuals also ice their testicles. Some individuals do go to extremes in regards to having cold showers on their testicles and so forth to keep them cool. This is where you need to talk to a healthcare professional and see what suits you best. Okay. I hope I shed some light to this issue, not only to yourself, but also to other individuals that may be wondering why their libido as a male is low, or you may be wondering why your partner's libido may be low as a male. Here are some suggestions. I hope that you take this information, and I hope that I've shed some light to this. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at Mihaela.Raguz on Instagram, and I'll be in touch with you, hopefully be able to answer your question via the podcast, Natural Health Podcast. Remember, you are not alone in the journey to optimal health. I'm here to assist you and make your journey a pleasant one. Until next Wednesday, love you.